conversations to read out at this time.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Karine. So H.R. 1 passed the House earlier today, and the House Speaker said it would open up permits for drilling and lower energy prices, and it was bipartisan. So if it's bipartisan, why wouldn't the president sign it if it hits his desk?
Look, I talked about this earlier in the week, specifically about our thoughts about H.R. 1. I don't have anything else beyond that to share. What I stated, I think 2 days ago stands. Just don't have anything else to share.
Why the Biden administration wants the FDIC to spare community banks from the special assessment to cover, the insurance deposits for Silicon Valley and signature banks. I mean, the default is that all banks pay. Why not broaden the base?
So I just want to, are you asking about a particular bank, in a particular bank here?
No, I mean, the Biden administration earlier was talking about the FDIC sparing community banks from the special assessment to cover the cost of insuring deposits at Silicon Valley and signature banks. Since the default generally is that all banks will pay to broaden the base, the FDIC does have some discretion, I understand. But I wanted to understand why is the administration encouraging that?
So I'll say this: look, the DIF has more than enough to cover, right? Any Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank deposits that cannot be paid using funds from the banks or the sale of their assets. And the FDIC has said any losses that the DIF will be recovered by a special assessment on the banks, not the taxpayers. We think it's important to make sure that these community banks, these regional banks, are also put in a strong place and are also resilient as well. And so I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to go into specifics onto what the FDIC is doing. That is something for them to make that decision. As you know, DIF is an important fund, insurance fund that the big banks pay into. But I'm not going to get into specifics to their process.
Debt ceiling. It's been 58 days since there was a meeting between the House Speaker and the President on the debt ceiling. We're talking about the full faith and credit of the United States. We're talking about, a serious issue. Why not? Why doesn't the President just call for a meeting?
You're right. We're talking about the full credit. Wait, let me answer. I heard your question. We are talking about the full credit of this nation, which is why we believe that Congress should not hold this up. It should be done without conditions. There should be no negotiations. 3 weeks, and we have seen nothing from the House Republicans. Nothing.
So you're saying you want to see hard figures before you would sit down?
It's not just us. It's the American people. We need to see transparency. Where's their budget? They keep coming up with excuses.
Does a comment or clip like this from the Speaker make you guys think he's serious about talks, or is he?
That's up to him. We showed our values by putting out the president's budget. So that's for him to respond to, not for me.
Bank regulatory proposals that the President directed towards the banking agencies today. It was made repeatedly clear that the agencies had the authority under law to implement those without any congressional legislation. If that's the case, and if you were attacking the former administration for rolling it back, why did it take until a crisis to decide that these are things that need to be done?
Let me just say, unfortunately, the Trump administration regulators weaken many important common sense requirements and supervision for regional banks, like Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank, whose recent failures led to that. Because of what we saw done by the Trump administration back in 2018, remember what happened in 2008 and what the Obama-Biden administration were able to do. They were able to strengthen some of those requirements, make it stronger, and the Trump administration rolled that back. And
I understand that, but experts were saying that before the Silicon Valley issues as well, that this was potentially problematic, and you guys have been in office for more than 2 years. Why did you wait until now to send these suggestions?
So a couple of things. Look, the Trump nominees had the supervision portfolio at the Fed for much of those past 2 years. So that's one reason. The second reason is the Fed Vice Chair Barr only arrived in July of 2022.